Welcome to I Drink Your podcast.
Oh gosh, it's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You leave me no choice. Here comes the smolder.
Wait, you like that?
No,
you don't like that?
No, I don't like that.
No, how about that? You like that?
A little better.
Bread makes you fat?
Does this count as annoying?
Just tell me what you want me to fuck!
Not you, and not you.
Okay, I think it's time to take off your clothes and jump me.
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool?
I drink your podcast! I drink it up!
Welcome to the last normal episode of season 2-ish of I Drink Your Podcast 2010. So exciting.
We made it.
I'm Emily. I'm super happy to welcome you all to our show. And we're very happy to have Ben back, my co-host, who's always here.
I'm always here.
Always. And Dylan is here too.
I'm kind of here. Always.
Every third episode, usually. Yes.
Yeah.
And before we dive too deep into our show, we would love for some of those ratings and sharing with people and liking and subscribing and all that shit. Please do it. We like you guys. Like us too?
Dylan, before we get into the movie, what's in your glass today?
Well, to go with the King's Speech, I decided to go with something a little royal, and I made myself a nice gin and tonic, which I read online was the Queen Mum's favorite cocktail, which, tying to the movie, was played by Helena Bonham Carter.
Mm-hmm. Emily, what do you got?
I went with a straight up High King. I don't really know why it's called a High King. Nothing fancy like stories that Dylan has, but it's got all sorts of alcohol in it. It's in a super tall glass. Maybe that's why. It's very kingly and high. I'm excited.
Okay. Yeah. It looks tasty.
It's pretty good. A little bitter, but the sweetness balances it out.
Nice.
What about you, Ben?
I went with the new King's favorite drink, which is a gin martini. London dry gin, dry vermouth, and orange bitters.
We're all getting
God save
drunk
the king.
tonight.
Yeah.
I have to interject before we go too far into the King's Speech. Have you guys heard of or seen The Resort?
I think I've heard of it. It's on Peacock.
Yes.
Is
Okay.
that the show with the guy from The Good Place?
Yes, it is. Have you seen it, Dylan?
Just the previews, and I always kind of was like, that looks kind of good, but I don't know.
Ben, have you seen it?
No.
What the fuck is wrong with you both? Why are you watching this? It's so fucking good. My goodness. I watched 7 episodes very quickly. There's one more. I haven't finished it, but the mystery and the intrigue and the just comedy of it all, like, is a very intense thriller mystery with just the most delightfully written comedy that you wouldn't quite expect. And I don't really want to say anything other than 15 years ago, 2 people went missing and a body showed up after a hurricane in a resort in, I don't think it's Cancun, but somewhere in like the resorty kind of areas in the Northern Americas, I think. But fuck, is it a great time? And you guys need to watch this.
You know, I have something that I'm wondering if you guys have seen. Have you guys seen The Menu yet?
No.
Is
I'm
that the
so
new
pumped, man.
Voldemort?
Yes, the Ralph Fiennes movie.
Yes, I want to see that real bad.
Y'all, you're talking about thrillers, Emily. Like, The Menu is so not what I thought it was going to be from the trailer. I was super excited after watching the trailer. I'm like, yes, a good horror movie. It is not what I thought it was. It is this like super biting satire of fine dining and about like the people who obsess over food and like this ostentatious world of fine dining. What? I mean, Emily, for how much you love cooking, you need to see the show. Dylan, I know you love like wild, crazy rides of movies. You got to see this movie. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why aren't you watching this?
I will get on it. It's a movie or a show?
It's a movie.
I actually think I have one as well for the two of you. Have either of you watched the Ty West film X that came out a couple years ago?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't. You saw that, Emily?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is shocking.
Wow, Emily. Wow.
Surprise.
But yeah, it was very interesting from what I saw of it. I enjoyed it, but yeah, there were a few moments I was like, Jesus. And that's as far as I'll go.
Okay. Well, Dylan, what did we watch this week for our last episode of the season?
This week we watched The King's Speech, which is available on Amazon Prime through Freevee. Yes.
Okay. And that is the end of the British accent.
I love how you dipped out of it and then it came back
Yep.
and then you got out of it again and then it came back. It was beautiful.
He's really good at the E's and the R's. Everything else is just trash.
Yep.
Okay, well then guess what, Ben? The next chunk, you're doing it in a British accent.
I'll do it in the King's stutter.
Oh,
Oh no.
woof.
No, The King's Speech is currently at 94% on Rotten Tomatoes and was nominated for 12 Oscars, winning Best Picture, Actor, Original Screenplay, and Director.
My husband is, he's required to speak publicly.
I have received.
Perhaps he should change jobs.
And what of my husband with a king? My husband has seen everyone.
Insert them into your mouth. Further enunciate.
He hasn't seen me. I can cure your husband, but I need total trust. What was your earliest memory?
I'm not here to discuss personal matters.
Well, why are you here then?
Because I bloody well stammer.
This movie was directed by Tom Hooper, who directed primarily TV miniseries and movies like Elizabeth I, Longford, and John Adams. You laughed, Emily. We'll talk about Tom Hooper, I think.
Yeah, I think we need to talk about Tom Hooper.
Okay. Starring in this movie is Colin Firth. Colin won the Oscar for Best Actor for this role. He starred as Mr. Darcy in the Pride and Prejudice TV miniseries, and was also in The English Patient, Shakespeare in Love, Bridget Jones's Diary, Love Actually, and Mamma Mia. He was nominated the year before this for his role in The Single Man. Also in this movie is Jeffrey Rush. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for this role. This was his fourth nomination, having previously been nominated for Shine, for which he won, Shakespeare in Love, and Quills. He was also in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
Arr.
Barbosa.
Miss Turner.
Lastly, Helena Bonham Carter was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for this role. This was her second nomination, having been nominated for The Wings of the Dove. She was also in Fight Club, many Tim Burton movies, and the Harry Potter franchise. We had all seen this movie before, so we're going to jump straight into the DVD cover. And Dylan, what does it say on the back of that DVD?
When England's throne is suddenly thrust upon him amidst royal family scandal and impending world war, King George VI must overcome a lifelong, debilitating speech impediment to lead his nation. After his iron-willed and compassionate wife Elizabeth secretly enlists an eccentric speech therapist, the two men forge an unlikely friendship that will ultimately empower the monarch to find his voice, inspire his people, and rally the world.
We had all seen this movie before. What were our initial thoughts upon watching it, and what are our amended thoughts now that we've seen it again?
I think I have forehead wrinkles.
When I first saw this in the theaters, I think I saw it with my mother, and then I saw it again at the Best Picture Showcase, which I think was the first year I ever went. And I enjoyed it. I like this movie. I think it's a good character study and or just a good character movie that I enjoyed, and a good little bit of history. So I enjoyed it.
And you still enjoyed it on this watch?
Yes, I did.
Emily?
I think I liked this movie. I don't have any recollection of when and where I watched this movie. It might have just been in the basement of my house while we rented it on DVD or something, but I feel like I didn't watch this movie in high school. So I don't know. I just remember watching it and just knowing what happened. And when I watched it this time, I couldn't care less about it. Or I could care less about it. What's the fucking phrase? Everyone yells at me about which is the correct phrase, but
You couldn't care less
okay.
because you care as little as you possibly can. You could not care less.
I care as little as I possibly can about this movie. And it's not that I don't like historical dramas, especially when they're like real-ish, but I just feel like it was so forced in my face, the story. I don't know how else to describe that. It just felt bland to me. There were parts that I really enjoyed and I can admire, especially the acting, and we can talk more about that. But winning Best Picture seemed a bit much for me.
I did not remember hating this movie as much as I did on this watch.
What? You hate it?
There's a lot that I respect about it and a lot that I do, like you said, admire. This is not an enjoyable movie.
I do not abhor it. So damn, Ben.
Okay.
Hatred.
So we've got a little bit of a spectrum going on here with Dylan on one end and me on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Emily just in the middle.
This won Best Picture. Why did this win Best Picture?
Because of the camera shots and the angles and the dark grittiness of it. And because Harvey Weinstein was the producer, I don't know.
There it is. There it is. She got to it. This is a bought Best Picture, right, Dylan?
I would agree. Yes, because this went up against Social Network and what else did it go up against that year?
Social Network, Inception, 127 Hours, Black Swan, Toy Story 3, True Grit, Kids Are All Right, The Fighter, and Winter's Bone.
Wow, a lot of those are way better than this
all
movie.
All of those, except for maybe The Kids Are All Right,
Kids Are Right
all
sucked.
movies. Well, no. I'm saying all of those other movies I could see winning Best Picture, except for that one. That was one where I was like, I didn't like that one.
So I think then the answer, should it have won Best Picture, is a firm no for all of us, even those who liked it.
High fives all around.
Yeah, congrats. We did it. Emily, which of those nominees do you think should have been winners above it?
Oh, see, I really want to call out Black Swan. I think it's because it made such a big impact because I had never watched it before. And I feel like of those, yes, Toy Story 3 was fantastic, but I don't think this movie deserves. I don't think it probably could win Best Picture. I haven't seen True Grit, so I can't call that one out. Sorry. 127 Hours, I really liked it, generally, I think. Don't quote me, everyone. Don't call me out and be like, you said you fucking hated it. Whatever. I think it was better than this movie. Inception, I could see it because of just how different it was from anything. It was like a sensational movie for audiences. And Winter's Bone, critics fucking loved it. The Fighter I thought was really great. And even though The Social Network wasn't my favorite, I think it was exceptional as a movie. But yeah, I think Black Swan really stood out to me out of those.
Well, high five, Emily, because that's the one that I think probably should have won over it. I know I like Social Network more than you do, so I also think that one would have been deserving. When you talk about why King's Speech won Best Picture, all you have to do is look at how many nominations it got from all these different branches. When it's nominated for 12 Oscars in all of these different categories, that means it's got widespread appeal for the entire Academy. It's not just an actor's movie. It's not just an art director's movie. Literally everybody was on board with this movie because they felt that their craft was well represented by this movie. And when you look at it that way, I can see why it won. But as far as like which movie do I want to pop in and watch again, this is definitely, if not the very bottom, the second or third from the bottom.
Yeah, I think as a whole, it doesn't really work. The pieces, I think, are really great. But as a whole, I don't think it is all that solid, which is so weird when you have such great parts.
Do you think it's because we're Americans and we don't give a shit about the royals?
I would say no. No on that.
It's not that I don't give a shit about the royals. I pretend I don't care, but I love scrolling through the BBC and getting updated on who just had a baby and who's getting married. I seriously, I don't think I actually care more than other people, but I'm still just like, I'm going to take a look at this. And that's as far as it goes. I don't like go digging through their history. I like the fashion. That's about it.
Emily, are you a bit of a messy bitch?
What do you mean by that? I mean, yes, I am.
Like, just like tabloids, like the smut, like Kardashians, like
okay,
the hot goss. Is that like,
first
are you into that?
I love The Bachelor and reality TV in general. Although it's not really because of the reality TV aspect. It's more of the Reddit that goes on behind the scenes and just like the ridiculous of events that turn out. But no, I'm not really into this person slept with this person. Oh, they're back together again. I just don't really care all that much. But I am a messy bitch. You should see my house.
Well,
I kind of agree with what Emily's saying. I'm not a huge lover of the royal family or anything like that. I do, if something happens, I do pay attention. I think what kind of attracted me to this movie with the royal family was just the idea of the impending World War II that was coming. You know, this was 1939 when this took place. So it was, you know, within months or a year of the Blitzkrieg bombings of England. And I think that's interesting history to kind of see how did a man get his nation to, you know, fully embrace that we're going to have to go to war and fight this evil and whatnot. And granted, that did work here too with Pearl Harbor and with FDR. But I find that interesting.
I love that you brought up how the king like rallies his people essentially, because I think that was the intent, but I did not get that from this movie at all. And maybe it's because they're British and they're reserved, but my God, I'm sorry. I was so distracted by everything else going on, especially just his talking pattern. And I know that's super dumb because he's overcoming a stutter, but I could not for the life of me be like, yeah, rally Britain. We're going to fight Hitler. We can do this. And I was like, you're a fucking figurehead, man.
It's hard to say that the rise of Hitler is a shoehorned in plot point, but that's what it felt like in this movie. This movie had so little stakes going on that when they tried to introduce Hitler's rising, I started laughing because I'm like, really? This is where we're going? Like, nothing about Hitler's funny, period. But its inclusion in this movie is ridiculous.
Into movies when it doesn't belong.
This movie to me almost felt, you know, like there's always a 3-act structure, and this does have a 3-act structure, but it almost feels like it's almost like 4 acts. And this is, hear me out. The first 2 are him kind of finding himself and kind of dealing with the problem. And then the other 2 parts I thought were the wedged in Hitler and King Edward with his brother, and how now do you get a man who could be seen as lesser than because the proper king had to abdicate type thing. So in my mind, that's how it kind of played out. That once we got to the halfway point, then it became Timothy Spall as Churchill going, well, now we got to talk about Hitler.
You guys agree that the central conflict of this movie is about King George overcoming his impediment, right? Like, yeah. So
it should be.
It's so hard for me to see Hitler in a movie where he is not the main source of conflict. And I think that's my problem with his inclusion.
They're like, let's escalate this problem to make him become king. And I know that when you do just like the tiniest amount of digging, you realize that is it called abdication? Mm-hmm. When that happens, it is so forced, when in reality it happened over, like, is it King Edward? Shit, I don't remember any of their fucking names. Guy Pearce his character was actually king for like 10 years and perfectly fine. The way that they collapsed events around time, it's not accurate. And so that's probably why it feels so forced to add Hitler to this, to add to that tension.
I would agree the passage of time in this is poor. It seems like this all happened like within 3 years when really it was probably more like 10 to 15.
Well, I don't think we can go much further without starting to talk about the good, bad, and the weird of this movie. So let's get into that and talk about the good. Specifically, what won this movie for you guys?
Set design. Fuck yes. Oh my God. The walls with the wallpaper and backdrops and the frames, especially Lionel's house. Fuck, I loved it. Absolutely my winner.
Emily, I don't know if you just took that straight off my sheet, because almost literally word for word, that's what I said.
Oh my God, I love you. We're like way on top of this.
Yeah.
Black Swan, not like in the movie, set design. Yes.
I mean, period films typically always have well done like art direction and production design.
This was exceptional.
Yeah. And it can be easy though too when you have really famous set locations to replicate. Like really, we have pictures of what the castle looked like. It's not that hard to do. But you calling out Lionel's house and office, like that's by far my favorite looks in the movie. That glass ceiling he has in his office, like the busy wallpaper that fills so much of the frame because of how Tom Hooper chooses to shoot it. Like for a movie that's filmed in a super boring way, it at least made the frame interesting to look at.
Mm-hmm. So Dylan, please tell us something different.
I gotta go with, I'm an actor guy. I love Jeffrey Rush.
Yes, he's so great.
I think Jeffrey Rush in everything that he is in is good. Like, honest to God, one of my kind of favorite fun, stupid movies to watch him in is The House on Haunted Hill, the remake from '99, where he's playing a weird version of Vincent Price in it. And it's kind of like, how did you get a best actor Oscar winner to do this horrible movie? And frankly, I think it was just like, he's like, yeah, I did it probably for a paycheck, but also then they let him do kind of whatever he wanted. It felt with that movie. But I just love him as an actor. I think he's fantastic. I've liked him since I saw the movie Shine that he won Best Actor for. He's kind of one of the reasons I would always come back to the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, because I really like his character in that, and I like him. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Jeffrey Rush all the way. I think he's just a fantastic actor. He's so good.
Completely agree, Dylan. That was the other thing I wanted to call out.
Mm-hmm.
Firth and Rush in this movie are both really, really good.
I really like Firth's facial tics and nuances.
Yes.
I think those are really great adding to his stammer, because like, how do you portray that in a way that is respectful yet also showing the authenticity of what a stammer is?
Mm-hmm.
When I was watching this, halfway through, I stopped because I was like, okay, Colin Firth is playing an actual person who lived during the time of radio. So I went on YouTube and I Googled or looked up George VI speeches. And he got that cadence of King George down perfect. Just like with the little lisp that was with King George's voice and everything, it was perfect. And I was like, that's shows a lot of time and skill that he put into it to do it right.
Even more than the speech patterns, though, I love the pain behind his face when he starts to stutter. Like, that's the part of his performance that really hits home to me. Like, you can see
the struggle,
how badly he doesn't want to do it, and just like the look on his face when he has to, and just the resignation of like feeling like he's letting himself down, his family down. It's so good. He is so good in this movie, and I love every scene that him and Rush share together.
Right.
Yes, hands down. Yeah, those are the best scenes in the whole movie. Yeah.
And his interactions with his daughters while he's a penguin. Oh my God. His little girls were so cute, and just how he interacted with them. Just fucking adorable.
Yeah, he was fantastic in this. And Also, I'm not going to sell Helena Bonham Carter short either. I thought for what she needed to do, she did well, or she did good with what, because honestly, I saw in her character a lot of the former queen, that very strong attitude, which kind of did show that, because her father died when she was still fairly young. She was coronated very young, Queen Elizabeth II. She had to learn from her mom how to be a good leader. And so you could tell she kind of learned a lot of that. And I thought Helena Bonham Carter, for what she had to do, did that well.
I'm certainly not going to say that she didn't do well. I do think she rode the coattails of this movie to a nomination. I didn't think that there was anything out and out spectacular about her performance. It was a steady performance from a good character actor.
Yes.
But not something that I felt rose above the material like Firth's and Rush's performances did.
I would 100% agree.
I think so too. But also, I think that she was the only other strong female character. Like the only, like you can't fucking have a nomination for one of the princesses or for Lionel's wife. They're not in the movie long enough. So who the fuck are you going to nominate?
Mm-hmm.
I do want to also call out, just because I'm a fucking nerd, I love the needle drops of classical music in this to really punctuate different points, especially when he's like speaking and it adds to the tension. I just think it's so charming and silly. But also I'm like, I know this piece. I know where this is going. I liked it a lot.
What did you guys think of Guy Pearce?
I love Guy Pearce. He needs to do everything.
I thought he was underutilized. That was my opinion. I think he's such a good actor. I was like, why? You could have gotten anybody else to probably do this. Why is he here?
I thought he served the purpose within this story. I didn't need more of him within this story. But I mean, it's always nice having a steady acting hand in any scene, like especially Michael Gambon also. Like I want to fuck that guy's voice.
Oh.
When he came on screen and just started talking, I was like, yeah, I want to put my dick in that.
And then he said, that's how you do it. You're like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is how you do it. How about let's move on to the bad?
There's just, okay, generally, like I said, the pieces do not fit together. Okay, I don't feel like the pieces of everything work well. But I do want to call out one of the pieces that I think do not do well. And that is the framing for the camera work. I fucking hate it. And here's why. I understand that some movies and shows really like to have the framing where you have a character in like a corner or the side and you kind of switch back and forth to show like perspective. And I know that the goal of this was supposed to have like this tight, constrictive, uncomfortable feel, but it fucking adds nothing to this movie except to be artsy and different. And all I kept thinking about was, this is like Mr. Robot, but Mr. Robot, it adds tension and it adds like the mental state of Elliot, versus this is just like, let's just be artsy.
This is hilarious, Emily, because after watching The King's Speech, I went back and watched the Patrick Willems YouTube video about Cats, which was Tom Hooper's other movie, but he talked about Hooper's directing style. And what was hilarious is he talked about that the use of negative space just didn't work for him, for Willems. But what he did cite was Mr. Robot. He said, it works on a show like Mr.
Oh my
Robot.
God, look at me. I'm amazing.
But in this movie, it didn't work. And I would totally agree with them. I think the tracking shots and that like odd kind of fisheye lens that was throughout the movie, just the cinematography I thought was not very good. And I would say the reason why I think, Emily, this movie, you said it feels disjointed, kind of like it doesn't all come together. Well, this is a guy who's made miniseries.
Yeah.
So this all kind of felt like little segments of a miniseries.
Tom Hooper's a fucking hack. I'm going to go ahead and just not even sugarcoat it. The guy sucks.
Mm-hmm.
This movie felt like a TV movie because that's all he's made before. So that's all he knows how to shoot. it's all point and shoot with things off center or extremely like opposite where things are so overemphasized symmetrically. There were a lot of shots where like perfect symmetry is happening within the frame, which is supposed to be used to show that like things are important that are happening. But what he chose to center was not important. So he was just doing it to like show off. And then in addition to that, they constantly used shot, reverse shot editing of conversations. And they did it in the Tom Hooper close-up. So shot, reverse shot, Emily, is where
Thank you.
they'll show a character, and then typically it'll be like an over-the-shoulder look at that character who's talking, and then it'll go to the other person's shoulder and show you what they would be looking at. So it's like back and forth shot, reverse shot. This movie, though, every conversation was shot in that style, and it made it so that it felt very isolating, like these characters are so far apart from each other, and I didn't like that. And
it didn't build the relationship of the friendship.
And he tried to overcompensate for that by shooting it all in close-up, but it doesn't help. It just makes it very disorienting. And I'll talk about a specific scene that was so disorienting that I wrote it down for my weird later. I mean, the other thing I kind of mentioned earlier that's bad, this movie just has so little stakes. Like, what happens if he doesn't fix his stammer? Like, he's still the king. He's still the richest and most powerful man. Yeah, but like, so what?
Right?
I don't know. The movie did a good job of developing the relationship between Lionel and Albert, but the entire movie amounts to little more than like royal navel gazing is how I interpreted the movie. Like it didn't work for me for that reason.
I also want to throw out there, like, why is Winston Churchill in it? Like, what the fuck? I honestly felt like they threw his name and character in there because they wanted audiences to go, I know that guy. Like, that is literally it. It's just like a fucking throwaway.
Well, again, it's the wedge in of Hitler, because Hitler and Churchill are synonymous names. They're kind of, FDR, Churchill, Stalin, Hitler, and, Mussolini. Done.
Oh, I was just about to say, let's forget about Mussolini, though. No one cares about him.
Let's go to the weird. What are some weird you guys had?
I thought it was very weird because when I first saw this movie, I believe it was right after the Queen Mum died. And she was like 98 or whatever it was when she passed. That doesn't matter. But watching this movie, I was just kind of in the back of my mind going, that's really weird that we're watching, the monarch now as children. Here's Elizabeth and her sister Margaret as children, as what Elizabeth will become. And then there's Helena Bonham Carter playing her mother who just died. It's just kind of a bit of a mind fuck. It's just that much current history. It's not that old of history.
Every time I watch a British movie, I can only think about Harry Potter. So I'm like, ooh, Wormtail, ooh, Dumbledore, ooh, Bellatrix. So like that's the only like mainly weird thing for me. The rest of it was just kind of has no point to bring it up because it just doesn't deserve any talking about.
Okay, I mentioned earlier a little bit of filmmaking that I wanted to call out as especially bad.
Ooh, a scene?
There's a scene, and it's the scene where Lionel first meets Albert, and they're sitting on the couches. And Albert is framed on the couch in like the left third of the frame. And then the reverse shot is Lionel in the right third of the frame. Only Lionel, when he looks at Albert, looks to his left. And it created this odd feeling of I couldn't tell how they were oriented in the space because of where they were positioned and looking. And it caused this like ping pong effect, like I'm watching tennis, trying to keep up with this conversation. And it's a simple discussion. So there's no reason to shoot it like that. It was just very hard to watch and understand what was happening.
When I was talking about the camera framing, I was 100% thinking about that scene, Ben.
Yeah, awful. Let's give our final thoughts on King's Speech, and we're going to put a cork in this thing by starting with Dylan.
Like I said, I find this movie for the acting and the story very entertaining and a good watch. Yeah, and mostly I think it's a good movie. Did not deserve Best Picture or Best Director, but it's
it
a
won
decent
Best
movie
Director
to watch.
too. Oh yeah. God.
Yeah, it did not deserve nearly the acclaim that it got, but I thought it was a good movie for what's there, and the acting is solid and spot on.
I'll go next. I think it's hard to divorce the acclaim that this movie got from the movie itself. Like, it's hard to watch this and not be like, this one Best Picture, this one Best Director. What is happening that I'm not seeing, and why is it getting all this love? Like, I feel like a crazy person watching this, being like, I don't get it. I don't get what everyone is trying to laud here. And because of that, I don't like this movie. I don't like that it beat Black Swan. I don't like that it beat Social Network. And I can't divorce my opinion of it from the fact that this won Best Picture. So I fully accept that my opinion of this movie is coming in flawed. I'm okay with that. This movie sucks. Fuck this movie.
Okay.
I didn't like this movie. And I think that the acting kind of kept it going, as well as the set design. But beyond that, I just don't think it deserved much of the acclaim it got. And fuck you, Harvey Weinstein. The end.
Well, Emily, we have our movie Escape Room of 2010 that we're doing today, so we're not doing twits.
I just have to say, before we continue, can we all, all of our listeners that actually listen to us, my God, I can't believe you actually do, and I love you all so much. Ben spent 4 hours creating this, and I am so fucking excited for this escape room. If there is anyone out there that could hire Ben to be a full-time writer, you need to hire him. He's so fucking creative. I'm so excited. I'm also drunk. This is going to be great.
I really appreciate that. I think I managed to slip in references to every movie that we covered from 2010. That's what I was trying to do, except for King's Speech, because fuck the King's Speech. We just talked about that. We don't need to do anything more with that.
Dylan, you'll have to help me with True Grit if there's a reference.
I'll try.
I kept out the special episodes. So
okay.
We don't got to worry about that. Next week, we'll be having our season finale, which we'll be talking about our favorite movies of 2010, many of which you'll hear coming up in the movie Escape Room. And we're going to hand out a few awards also. We're going to do our plugs now in case people don't want to listen to the Escape Room. I encourage you to. I worked very hard on it. But if you don't want to, totally understand. Thank you for listening to us. We really appreciate all your support that you're giving us. Please like, rate, subscribe, share us with a friend or two, and follow us on social media at IDYP_podcast on Twitter and Instagram, or email us at idrinkyourpodcast@gmail.com.
Shall we play a game?
I despise guessing games.
This great game. Makes you think and it helps your memory.
Let the games begin.
Let's do this, bitch.
You both awaken in pitch blackness. You reach around and you feel that you are trapped inside of a box. Different boxes, but nonetheless, you are each in a box.
Can I hear Dylan?
Why don't you call out and ask?
Dylan, can I hear you?
He can.
Hi. Are you in a box?
I'm in a box.
Same here.
How big is this box? I'm going to feel out.
You feel out and you feel that it's about casket sized. And as you're reaching around, you also find a cell phone.
A phone?
You find a phone. Emily finds a phone. You guys are individual people here, so you need to be doing your own actions. So Emily finds a phone.
Can I say then, can I feel around as well?
Yeah, so you reach around, Dylan, and you find a lighter. And in the corner of your casket is a small box, and you can feel a lock on it. And it's one of those locks that you can turn the numbers on it. And it needs a 3-digit number.
Okay.
I'm going to use the cell phone light to see if there's anything else written in the casket.
In your casket, you see carved into the lid, it says Brandon equals, Dylan equals, others equals.
Okay. Can I look through the phone if there's any numbers recently dialed or contacts?
There are no numbers recently dialed, but there are 11 contacts loaded into your phone. They are Blue Valentine, Burlesque, Ghost Rider, Love and Other Drugs, Man from Nowhere, Monsters, Secret in Their Eyes, Skyline, The Town, Valhalla Rising, and Winter's Bone.
Okay. Dylan,
Yes.
I think I have to figure out how many Dylans movies you were on, how many Brandon was on, and how many others you were on to figure out. Sorry, did you tell me about the 3-digit code? I'm assuming you told me about the 3-digit code.
Yeah, Dylan did. Yes.
I found a lockbox with a 3-digit code.
You
Thanks,
don't have to do that. If I say it, Dylan's told you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you weren't on Blue Valentine. That was Brandon.
Yep. Nope. I was not on that one.
Matt was Burlesque, and I think Wesley, but Ghost Rider was Brandon, I think.
It wasn't
Love
me.
and Other Drugs. Love and Other Drugs was you, right?
Yes. Off the top of my head, the ones I can tell you right now that I know are on that list. Monsters, Love and Other Drugs. I believe the In Their Eyes movie.
The Secret in Their Eyes?
Secret in Their Eyes, because I think that was the only one I liked, and the two of you were like, fuck you, Dylan.
No, you're wrong about that. We all liked Secret in Their Eyes.
Is that Argentinian one?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, we all liked that one.
What was the one I was thinking of? The one with Jim Broadbent that I was thinking.
Oh, Another Year.
There we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Skyline. I don't remember who was on.
I was on Skyline.
Okay.
That was my Wheel of Trash.
Rising. Shit, I don't remember. Were you on The Town?
Yes.
Okay. Not Valhalla. You were also on Winter's Bone, weren't you?
No.
Fuck.
I was not on Winter's Bone.
Okay, so Dylan, Love and Other Drugs, Monsters, Secret in the Eyes, Skyline, The Town. So that's 5 for Dylan. That's the middle number. Fuck. Can I call a friend? Can I call Brandon?
You cannot call Brandon.
Fuck. Can I call Wesley?
No, Wesley's not going to be able to help you.
Now, hold on. These were a list of contacts, correct?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just a list.
Can I call Valhalla Rising and figure out who?
You were able to call all of these contacts, but they're not going to tell you who was on them.
Fuck.
You mother bitches.
I don't remember, though.
We all die. The end.
I'll say you've got Dylan's number right.
I know I do. Okay, we're going to just try some numbers. I got Dylan here. He knows what movies he's on.
Go ahead and try some numbers.
Dylan, we're going to try some numbers, okay?
Okie dokie. I wiggle my foot down to kind of push the lockbox up towards me. Is there anything else in the casket with me besides the lockbox and that, I believe you said lighter?
Nope, that's it. Just the lockbox and the lighter.
Nothing written down anywhere.
I mean, are you using the lighter to see?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, there is something written down. On the lid, it says, freedom is just 3 phone calls away. And then in all capital letters next to it, it says BOD, B-O-D.
Freedom is just three?
3 phone calls away.
Okay. Dylan, can you try 254?
I try 254.
254 is not correct. Nothing happens.
Okay.
May I suggest, Emily, before you start doing, 001, 002?
No. I already have it planned out. Because 5 is correct. And I know that that Brandon was on at least 2, if not more. And then I know Burlesque was Matt. And so I'm just I only have 4 options that it could possibly be. So 353.
353 is not correct.
452.
452 is not correct.
551.
551 is not correct.
What the fuck?
Okay. Now, Emily, what I would strongly suggest is maybe just try calling one of the contacts and see what happens.
Yeah, but I want to. If it's only, I feel like I only have 3 phone calls though.
Ask how many bars are on your battery.
You have enough battery life to get you as many calls as you want.
Okay. Sorry,
Thank you.
that's just the next thing I can think of. And how's the reception in said casket? Are we, 5G or?
Just like Ryan Reynolds, you're right underneath a cell phone tower.
Okay. Can we get Wi-Fi? And do a Find My iPhone.
Just for shits and giggles, 551.
Incorrect.
Okay. Dylan, I'm thinking of calling the 5th number since.
And which one was the 5th one? You gotta remember.
Man from Nowhere.
Okay.
Just because I don't know what else to do, so I'm gonna try Man from Nowhere.
So you call Man from Nowhere, and you get a message, and the message says, "This is an incorrect number. If you call 2 more numbers incorrectly, you lose."
I fucking knew it. See, I fucking knew it.
Well, geez, Emily, guess what?
No,
you
it's
don't
not mad
know
at
until
you.
you try.
It's not mad at you.
So...
I'm just like, I fucking know how Ben's fucking brain works, and I'm fucking pissed.
Well, as I'm sitting in a box, I'm going, man, I would love to play D&D with Ben, because he seems to write really good stories.
Yeah.
Freedom is just 3 phone calls away. BOD.
Now it's in all caps, you said?
Yep.
Are there periods between each letter?
Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Brandon, Dylan, others, but it's in a different order. So it goes Brandon and then others and then Dylan. So Dylan is the last number. But I still don't know what Brandon and others is. Okay, I'm gonna.
Well, at least now you know 5.
I'm gonna
is
try the
last
combinations
number.
again. 5 is the last number now. So, okay, 255.
Incorrect.
335.
Correct.
Fuck yeah.
Dylan codes it to 335, and he opens the box, and inside the box he finds 3 pieces of paper.
Oh my God, Dylan, what did you find?
I found 3 pieces of paper. What's written on these pieces of paper? I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me.
So Dylan uses his lighter, and he holds them up to the first clue.
He burns them off.
May I correct and say I'm holding it at an arm's length?
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
So
clue 1 says Best Picture nominee. Clue 2 says IDYP intro song.
Okay.
And clue 3 says air rights.
Skyline. No. Shit. What was that movie? That was all about sky rights. Fuck. We talked about this for a very long time.
Not sky rights, air rights.
Air rights, whatever.
Not Airbender, is it?
That's Burlesque. That one's Burlesque. Because it was so dumb. That was Burlesque. Okay. Intro song. Dylan, I haven't listened to our show in probably 2 months. So when was the last time you listened to our show?
Longer than a couple of months.
Okay.
Me.
So I know that Social Network is in it. I know Tangled is in it. But that's not going to be either of the ones that are on this list. So Love and Other Drugs is on it.
Okay. Just use the process of elimination.
I'm assuming that those are the, like, there isn't another one
and
of those.
Best Picture nominee. Read the list again, and I can probably give you what
There's
ones for
Blue
Best Picture
Valentine, Burlesque, Ghost Rider, Love and Other Drugs, Man from Nowhere, Monsters. It's Winter's Bone, because we just talked about this.
Mm-hmm. So their clue number 1 is Winter's Bone.
Yep. So
Number
I call
3
Winter's
is
Bone.
Burlesque. Yeah, call Winter's Bone.
You call Winter's Bone, and you hear a click on the outside of both of your caskets.
Oh my God. I really hope there's more to this, but if this is it, that's okay too. I'm very happy. I call Love and Other Drugs.
You call Love and Other Drugs, and there is a second click.
Okay. I call burlesque.
You call burlesque, and there is a third click, and both of your caskets open.
Yay!
You step out of your caskets and find yourselves in an empty room.
Yes!
A box outline forms on the floor, and the floor above you begins to open up.
The floor above us begins to open up?
So
There's a box
the
above
ceiling
us?
begins to open up. Nope, there's like a box visible on the floor. I guess it's more of a square. It's not a box at this point.
Okay,
But
so there's a square
It's
on the
not
floor.
3-dimensional.
yeah.
Ceiling opens.
And the ceiling opens directly above the square on the floor.
So, like, we can see the sky, or...
You look up and you can't see anything in the room above you, actually.
So it's just, like, black.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to check the pause screen to see the percentage completed of this game.
20%.
Yes. Okay.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Can I throw, like, something up to see how high the ceiling is? Like, can I throw something and hit the top, or no?
You want to try to reach the ceiling above that ceiling? Because you can see the ceiling in your room, and it's just a 12-foot ceiling.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Yep.
Okay. The room is completely empty?
Other than your caskets, yep.
Okay.
I go over to our caskets and I flip them upside down and kind of just give them a thorough examination on the outside.
Look around on the outside?
Yes. Thorough examination.
There's
of the
nothing
outside of them.
on the caskets that would indicate what you need to do next.
Okay. I'm going to examine the square closely.
The square seems to be an outline showing where the floor is disconnected from the rest of the square. So it's like a gap, and it's going all around the edge of the square.
So there's like a
hairline,
thin, very thin hairline one
Okay.
to show that it's disconnected.
So it sounds like it's something that's going to move up.
Yes.
Nothing else, though, about the square?
Nope, nothing about the square is visible.
Okay. Dylan, you want to stand in the square with me?
Sure.
You step on the square and it lifts you into the room above you. As you're lifted, the only light in the room is coming from a bright blue shape, which extends from one wall across the ceiling and ends on the opposite wall in a downward pointing arrow that points to a door.
There's a blue light that's going down to a door.
Inside the blue light are the words, "Know the order," or else. And it's repeated thousands of times in tiny handwriting.
Is this, stupid question.
Okay.
Is this KNOW or NO?
Nope, that's a fair question. It is KNOW.
Okay. Know the order.
I don't know what that's referencing. I feel like this is Inception of some kind.
Well, perhaps it has something to do with the movies listed on the phone. Perhaps
I think those are
the order,
useless now.
What was the order of the episodes?
The movies in the phone were in alphabetical order as you would see in a cell phone. So that the order of that is not going to help you.
Okay. Well, I was just trying to think
I
if
think
maybe it was supposed to be, we're supposed to put them in order of, like, you know, what was the first episode, second episode, that
Yeah,
type of thing.
I think that was a good idea, but also we Ben did say he put every single movie in this, so I think those ones are done.
Can I go over there and examine the door?
Which door?
Are we in the room?
You're in the room. Yep. The floor is affixed itself. It's not going anywhere. It's a standard room
Okay.
now.
And how many doors are there now?
There are 4 doors that you see, one on each wall.
Okay.
And in the corner is a panel with holes for 3 keys.
3 keys.
Is there anything distinct about the doors?
You notice that there are peepholes on each of the doors. And
Peepholes?
that the one door is being pointed to by the blue arrow.
Dylan, you want to look at that one, and I'll do the one across
Well,
from it?
my assumption is the blue door, I'm just going to call it the blue door, since it's blue arrow pointing at the door. I'm just going to call it that, just for...
Blue door sounds so good right now.
I don't even know what that is, but okay.
It's a restaurant, Juicy Lucy's.
Fuck you, there's only one Juicy Lucy, and it's called Matt's. Okay, let's not
I mean,
fight.
I fucking love Matt's. I
don't
love
wanna
Matt's
fight.
so much.
I don't want
And
to
I
fight.
agree that I think Matt's is better.
Okay.
But you said blue door, so.
I'm assuming that that door is the last door that we would be going into.
Probably.
Would be
but
my
you can
assumption.
take a look at it.
Considering it says know the order, that the other 3 are going to be the order we need to look in order to find said keys, would be my assumption.
Okay, fine. I'm going to look at the door across from the blue door.
The door across from the blue door, as you walk towards, you can hear waves crashing on the other side of it. And when you look inside, you see a rocky beach.
Shutter Island? Do I see anything else, or is that it?
That's really all you can see through the peephole.
Okay, I'm going to go to the one to the right of it.
As you approach that door, it's radiating heat as you step toward it. You can hear a man screaming for help inside, and when you look in, you see that the man is in a chair, burning alive.
That seems like Shutter Island, but it's a woman burning alive.
Go to the other door.
Going
I go to the other
one
door.
across from that. Okay, Dylan's got it.
Okay, as you approach that door, your mouth and throat begin to feel very dry. You look through the eye hole and see massive red-orange structures lining both sides. They're very natural looking.
That, I believe, would be 127 hours, because dryness, thirst, that type of, and the rocks were all kind of a reddish orange color. What about the blue door?
As you walk towards the blue door, you can feel wind blowing on your feet as you stand by the door. You look in and see 5 dragon-looking statues perched along a curved cliff's edge.
That's how to tame your dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon? Okay, so I can't imagine anything else would be Shutter Island, just because for that door across from it, just because the island, the beach was like the most important thing, right?
Since they were on an island, yeah.
The guy on fire, was he saying anything?
He was kind of shouting in a comical way.
That's Nick Cage. That's Kick-Ass.
I love that scene though. Him screaming that.
It is heartbreaking, but also funny. And then you said 127 hours for like the reddish orange natural structures.
Yeah, and dry throat, thirst, that type of thing, because that's kind of what that movie turned into.
Can we investigate I don't remember what you called it, but where the 3 keys go?
So you walk over to the podium and you just see that there's 3 keyholes in there. Nothing else is indicative.
Are there door handles on these doors? So we can open the doors.
There are door handles, yes.
Okay. Just not the blue
door, maybe? You can open
the
doors, yes.
I'm going to
I would say know the order or else.
Dylan.
Yes,
I think Shutter Island was before all these other ones. I'm almost positive. But you weren't on that one.
Are we going episode order or perhaps release order?
Oh my god.
I definitely wouldn't do release order because that would require you to be able to do release
order.
I can't fucking do it.
That was kind of the first thing I thought, was...
I also wouldn't expect you to know release or episode release order off the top of your head.
Well, then how the fuck are we supposed to establish the order? This game sucks. I'm going home.
I'm going to do another quick look around every single, just like nook and cranny, see if there's anything else written down.
Yeah,
Ceiling.
we're going to scour that room. Just look at, yeah.
You look very closely and you see that there is you can tell that somehow the podium is wired to the man burning alive door.
I don't know what to do with that information.
You also see, when you look at the blue arrow, that it almost looks like it could be almost tattoos.
I just figured
is
it
what
out
it
as
looks
soon as
like.
you said blue arrow. That's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, that piece of shit.
Yep. It's hard when only I have seen all of the movies, I think. 5 dragon statues.
Well, you're saying the podium...
Oh, shit. Earth, wind, fire, water. Shit.
So,
what is the order? It's water.
Are we like talking what he learned first in Avatar?
It's literally Avatar. No, it's Avatar. The cycle starts like shit. I don't know where he starts the cycle though. The opening is water.
Well, if it went anything by
is
the cartoon,
Earth and then fire, or is it fire Earth? It's the same as the cartoon. I just can't remember what it is right now.
Then it was Earth, water, and then fire. Well, no, air is the first thing. He learned air first because he was the air bender.
Okay, so I'm thinking of the opening of the show. Like the repeated intro over and over again. Sorry, we're thinking of two different things. Ben, we're on the right track, aren't we? But we are very in the weeds of which is the order. We know what we're doing. We just don't know which it is.
Yes.
We know what we're doing, but we don't know what we're doing.
I'm very scared of this or else. Okay, Dylan, you can decide either the order Aang learns stuff, except I think the order Aang learns stuff, it doesn't finish in the movie, so I feel like I'm leaning against that, or the order Katara says in the opening.
Well, I will gladly say, I have not seen the movie, so I don't know if they changed the order in the movie.
The movie stops after book. No, it's the same, I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm talking about with the intro of the show. Does it match up with the movie?
Yeah.
The intro is the same as the movie. The book and movie.
So
or the show
it goes
and movie
water
the same
first.
Intro.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to open Shutter Island.
Suddenly you explode.
Suddenly he's so quiet and I am...
So you open water and a buzzer goes off, which causes you to slam the door immediately. And a voice comes over the intercom and says, "One more, and it's over."
Can I check the phone and see if I get better reception up here to call Wesley for help?
The 3 phone calls drained the battery of the phone.
You ass.
You guys
didn't say that in the beginning.
Like, feel free to ask.
You never said that in the beginning.
Anytime you get stuck, this is just like any escape room you've ever done.
Okay, give us a hint, please. Unless Dylan doesn't want one.
No, go.
You're overlooking a huge hint that tells you which one should be first.
Blue arrow.
It could be the big fucking blue arrow. You step through the door and onto the cliff and walk towards the 5 statues. As you walk towards them, you realize that they're not statues, but instead living creatures. You notice that the middle dragon looks like a normal dragon, but the others, while they have bodies of dragons, very clearly have human heads. The middle dragon says, "Trade all 4 of them, and I'll grant you what you seek."
I'm sorry, can you draw a picture for me? I've got 5 in a row.
Nope, they're kind of like curved along the outside of an edge.
But it's still 5 in a row, essentially.
It's 5 in an arc, but yes.
Middle one, is that dragon or human?
Middle one is dragon, and then the 2 to its left and the 2 to its right are both hybrid creatures.
Human heads.
Human heads, dragon bodies.
Dragon says what?
Dragon says, "Train all 4 of them, and I'll grant you what you seek."
Train or trade?
Train.
Okay.
Unstoppable.
I look at the heads.
Mm-hmm.
Do I recognize them?
You do, yeah. They all have very distinct features on them. Each dragon is unique.
Do you tell us the features?
What does the one to the far? Let's go. Looking at the center one. Let's go all the way to the left.
That head of this dragon has a feathered mullet, a 5 o'clock shadow, and the dragon looks like it's wearing a vest.
Okay, so a mullet.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay, and the next one?
The next one, the head of this dragon has blonde hair, and the mouth appears as if it's bleeding.
Okay, bleeding mouth.
Are any of these gendered?
Ooh, good question.
Yes, so the 5 o'clock shadow is going to be male, and Dragon 2 with the blonde hair is female.
Okay. So the right of the dragon?
This head has huge eyes and long blonde hair, and I mean long.
Rapunzel. That's from Tangled.
Thank you.
Far right.
The far right has red eyes and black makeup brushed across the eyes. Their hair is pulled back tight, and they're wearing a tiara.
Black Swan?
And they're wearing a tiara. Yeah, that would be Black Swan, just with the hair pulled back tight.
I'm assuming that's a female, right?
Yes, that is a female.
Does it look like Natalie Portman?
You know, some would say, hey, is that Natalie Portman? And
or is that
others would
Mila
say, yeah, it
Kunis?
is.
Mullet with a 5 o'clock shadow and a vest. Who the
Blonde mouth bleeding. Dogtooth. It's Dogtooth. 5 o'clock shadow, vest, and a mullet. Does the dragon hybrid on the left look a little bit like Taika Waititi?
No, it does not.
Damn it. Okay. Does it look like Mark Ruffalo?
Does not.
Does it look like an Australian person?
Nope.
It's MacGruber. Right? Doesn't he have a mullet?
Yes.
Does it look like MacGruber?
It actually looks exactly like MacGruber.
Does it look like Will Arnett? Or not Will Arnett.
Nope.
What the fuck is his name?
It does not.
Will Forte.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so it goes MacGruber, Dogtooth, Tangled, Black Swan, train all 4. Can I ask the dragon what does each person need to get trained in?
You know, that's a great question since this dragon's been established as being able to speak.
Mm.
Is there a certain dragon you'd like to know more about?
All of them?
You can't do all of them at once.
Okay, fine. Start with MacGruber.
They're unable to shoot until they're told what to do.
Okay, how about Dogtooth?
They're lost until they can be made whole again.
We need a tooth.
Tangled?
They're trapped until they can be set free.
Can I have Rapunzel use her magic hair to heal the girl from Dogtooth?
They are too far away for that to happen.
Her hair is long! This is a fault.
That would not make her whole again.
Okay, fine.
Because I don't think Rapunzel's hair can
grow teeth back?
Grow back things, yeah.
What did she want again, Rapunzel? Sorry, I got excited.
They're trapped until they can be set free.
And the Black Swan?
They're unfulfilled until they hear it's time to perform.
God damn you.
Please tell me that you think we're doing well.
You guys are doing well. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I feel like there's so much to it, and I'm like, oh my god, how are we doing this? How are we still
There's
going?
a lot to it. You guys are doing well.
Okay. Can I look around to see if there's anything else around us?
Other than just like generic rocks of various dullnesses and sharpnesses, there's nothing else to find.
Can I ask, does what's going on in this room have any effect, or will it have any effect on the outside of this room and the other doors?
I can't answer that.
Okay. I'm just wondering if we need to go to the other doors to...
That's like way outside of the game.
I'm going to pull a tooth from the Black Swan because pain means it's time to perform.
You are able to pull a tooth from the Black Swan.
I stick it in Dogtooth Child's mouth.
You stick it in Dogtooth Child's mouth, and she smiles and flies away.
Okay, Black Swan, she's in pain. She better perform. This is her moment, because she got, stabbed.
She has not been cued to start performing yet.
She needs to get stabbed. Okay.
What was Rapunzel's again?
They're trapped until they can be set free.
So she's the last one that would go because all of
I'm
them
going
are
to take the
trapped.
tiara from the Black Swan and put it on Rapunzel.
You do that and nothing happens.
I'm going to give the tiara back.
What was MacGruber's?
Black Swan's mad. Black Swan doesn't want the tiara back.
Fine, I'm going to break it and throw it at her face.
Jesus.
Okay.
No, I'm
nothing
going to take
happens.
the tiara, break it, and stab it in her abdomen.
Okay, she's upset, but nothing beyond that happens.
Now let me ask a question. Yeah, what was MacGruber's again?
They're unable to shoot until they're told what to do.
MacGruber, we only have 10 seconds left. Shoot Black Swan.
Nothing happens.
Fuck. Okay.
When you say fuck, the dragon reacts.
Which
And it
dragon?
says, oh, I'm gonna shoot! I'm gonna shoot!
MacGruber dragon.
Can I tell the dragon, go ahead, shoot away? Shoot it at the Black Swan.
I don't think so.
God damn it.
I
don't fucking know.
I don't
tired
really
and I'm
remember MacGruber other than the really awful sex scene. Do I need to tickle his knees or something? I don't know.
Your hint for MacGruber is think of the IDYP intro song.
Bread makes you fat?
Okay, can I?
Nope, that's Scott Pilgrim.
Damn it.
Can I just keep saying fuck?
It's just going to be him constantly saying, I'm going to shoot. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to shoot.
Okay. Just making sure.
One more time.
Just making sure if it's moving.
I'm going to shoot.
If it's moving anything along.
I'm going to tell MacGruber to masturbate.
Okay, that actually works. MacGruber shouts one final, I'm going to shoot, shoots, and flies away.
Okay. Because
you told it what you wanted it to fuck. Just tell it what you wanted to fuck.
That's right.
Yeah, 2 dragons left.
Okay, so we still got
I was gonna. My next step was Dylan blows MacGruber, but you know.
That would have done it as well.
Why would I have to?
Because I didn't want to, Dylan, obviously.
Well, and I automatically, well, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to suggest it. We're a team, man.
Her idea, it's your action.
Fuck off.
Is there a knife or anything? Can I cut Rapunzel's hair?
I mean, you got a really sharp tiara.
Cool. I broke it and stabbed a person with it. I'm going to take this bloody tiara and cut her hair.
As you approach Rapunzel, Emily, she starts screaming in terror.
Can I tell her I'm going to free you by cutting your hair?
She screams, not you.
Give it to me. Let me give it a whirl.
I feel like, I mean, you can step closer to her.
How about
So, Dylan, you have the tiara now? She is comfortable with you approaching her, Dylan.
Hey there.
With the tiara in hand.
How you doing?
What are you going to do with that tiara?
I'll cut some hair.
You're going to cut some hair?
Cut her hair.
Okay, you cut her hair and she flies away.
Whee!
You're going to have to explain that one besides gendered.
I mean, the whole thing is gendered because it takes a man to solve her problem in that movie.
That's right. I hate you so much.
Can I try to stab the Black Swan?
Yeah, you do, and she's just still mad. She's like, why are you stabbing me?
What do you need? It's time to perform.
Usually I'm cued.
I conduct.
Start the music.
What do you conduct?
I conduct.
The
I don't
Black
remember.
Swan, the Swan ballet. Whatever it was in the ballet.
The Swan Princess? Is that what it's called? I can't remember now. Swan Lake. It's Swan Lake.
You begin to conduct the opening notes to Swan Lake, and she flies away.
Yay!
Finally. Okay, dragon, give me your shit.
The middle dragon, after seeing the last dragon fly away, gives you the key and flies off. And you go back through the door and enter the starting room.
Does the arrow do anything?
Arrow is still just the normal blue arrow that it was before.
Okay.
But you notice again that it says know the order.
Should we attempt to stick the key in the top keyhole?
That's
or
kind of
no?
what I was thinking too, just because I don't know what else to do because I'm scared of opening another door because one more and we fail.
Yeah. Let's do that.
You put the key into the podium and turn the first key, and you hear something click over on the fire door.
Okay.
But of the wires that are going there, only one thing has clicked, and you can tell that it needs 3 clicks.
Okay.
So then maybe it's water, then earth, because fire, they go attack the Fire Nation. And also all the wires are going to that one.
Yeah.
Well, we already opened Shutter Island. I think it's Shutter Island. So maybe that one more means not the same door. You just have to mess up a different door. Maybe that's how Ben played it. But I don't think we should go to fire, and I don't think we should go to earth.
No.
So water. Go into water. Open the door.
You go to open the water door, and it opens for you, and you are immediately caught in a wave that washes you to shore.
Whee!
You stand up and walk to the beach. In the distance, you see a lighthouse. You walk toward the lighthouse, climbing the stairs as you make your way to the top. You open the door, and you hear, "Why y'all wet, baby?"
Oh my god. Is it
Is it Michelle Williams?
I don't remember his name, but Gandhi.
It is Gandhi. Yes, it is
mean
What is
Gandhi.
his name?
Sir Ben Kingsley?
Yeah. What do you need, Kingsley?
So Kingsley doesn't respond when spoken to.
Okay. Look around the room.
So the first thing you notice is that this room appears to be used as a storage room for a variety of objects. And honestly, the objects are piled up so high that they're almost indistinguishable of what they are. But you also notice a whiteboard, and on that whiteboard you see 8 actors' names.
All right.
When Ben Kingsley sees that you notice the whiteboard, he says, "Where do you know these people from?" And I'm going to give you 8 people. The first one is John Cusack, Keira Knightley.
Can I start naming movies as you go so we can knock some of these out? Because I already know one of them.
Sure.
1408.
Yeah, go for it.
No, that's the wrong movie.
No,
wrong
that
year.
was John Cusack. What was he
This is
in?
a 2010 movie Escape Room.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Okay, let me keep looking.
No, it's Never Let Me Go
Well, that's Keira Knightley.
for Keira Knightley. Anyway, keep going with your list.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Alan Tudyk, Julianne Moore, Elliot Page, Riz Ahmed,
I got that.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Jackie Weaver are the 8 actors' names on the board.
I think I got most of them. Jackie Weaver is Animal Kingdom. Mary Elizabeth, whatever her name is, that's Scott Pilgrim, right?
Yes.
Riz Ahmed for Lions. Elliot Page.
Inception.
There you go.
Julianne Moore was The Kids Are All Right. Alan Tudyk is Tucker and Dale.
Keira Knightley, Never Let Me Go. John Cusack, I don't remember. Hot Tub Time Machine.
Ben Kingsley, after you name all 8 movies, says, "Good. Now put them in the correct order,
Fuck.
and you'll be able to find the location of the object by which you seek."
Is there anything else in this room besides this huge pile of objects?
No, there's not.
Okay.
What fucking order?
This is a hard one, guys. So I'm going to say, think about the twist of Shutter Island.
How he's actually a crazy person?
And think about how they revealed the twist to Leo's character.
I haven't seen that movie in so
Think
long.
about the
but I
whiteboard.
remember it.
I can see the whiteboard. It's anagrams or like,
Okay.
but that's all I remember.
So perhaps the thing you're looking for is anagram related,
Can I ask?
using certain parts of those movies.
Can I ask if it's a letter or if it's a word?
It is a letter.
Okay. I'm assuming first letter.
That's a good assumption.
Okay. HNTKIFSA. These I suck at. I'm just gonna throw it out there, Dylan.
Okay, give me the letters.
Word
Give me the
jumbles
letters
are
again.
the worst. Okay, HNTKIFSA. Word jumbles suck so much because I can't do this without doing every combination, Ben. I kid you not.
Be thinking about what the anagram might be spelling.
Oh, I am thinking that.
I got ask, think, and then the F.
You have K twice, though. I have thank, and then SF, ISF, FIS. Fuck. Of all the things that you picked, this is probably the one thing that if anyone says, like, what's your weakness in life? This is my weakness in life. I kid you not. This is the one thing that I hate more than anything in the world. Anytime there was a word jumble in school, I almost cried because I just didn't know how to like get my head out of the like structure besides writing everything down.
Well, I definitely did not intend to make you cry.
I'm not crying right now. I'm just telling you, if I spend more
crying,
time on this,
crying.
I might start. Can you give me the first letter so I can limit my combinations?
I'll tell you, it's 2 4-letter words.
Okay. Are they proper nouns?
They are not proper. They're both nouns.
Okay.
But they're
I
not
was like,
proper nouns.
Hank. No. Tank. Fish tank. It's a fucking movie.
You'd think, wow, for a movie podcast.
Fuck off, Dylan.
So you guys got fish tank. You walk over to the pile of just stuff, and you locate the fish tank, and in the fish tank is a key. And you exit the door and wind up back in the starting room.
All right. Emily, go put the key in the hole.
Putting the key in the hole.
Key goes in the hole. You turn it. The second click comes from the fire door.
All right, let's go to the last room.
127 hours. Let's do it. It's going to take us a long time.
Better not take 127 hours.
If it takes more than 127 seconds, I might punch you. I'm just kidding.
Have fun editing.
You walk through the door and find yourself in the middle of a massive cavern. All of a sudden, from above, you see a man begin to fall and a rock falling with him. The man is pinned against the wall by the rock and screams out in agony. You run to help this man.
James Franco.
Only as you get nearer, it is not James Franco, but instead it's Andrew Garfield. And he's pinned against the wall not by a rock, but by the rock. They are both shouting to be set free. Then from above you hear in a hissed voice, you hear, "Neither can live while the other survives." As you hear this, a man walks up behind you. He looks as if he's been wandering for many years and wears sunglasses. And in the distance, you hear a loud train barreling down the tracks.
And Unstoppable.
So it has something to do with Denzel because Denzel was in both movies.
Yep.
My man.
I'm sorry. I fucking don't remember The Rock in any of these movies. The other guys. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Good.
What movie?
The Other Guys.
Oh, yeah.
Also, we already had Andrew Garfield. Is he in another movie?
He was in The Social Network and...
oh, that's true. He's in The Social Network.
Never Let Me Go.
You already had it?
Yeah, he's in with Keira Knightley. He's in Never Let Me Go. We could get rid of the in front of the rock. Social Network? Anyone?
That's a good joke. Just took me a second. Okay.
I'm going to ask Andrew Garfield and The Rock who should live.
Andrew Garfield says, "If you don't let me go, you better lawyer up, asshole, because I'm not coming for 30%. I'm coming for all of it." And The Rock is not helpful. The Rock says he turns to Andrew Garfield and he says, "You really are stuck between me and a hard place."
Fuck you.
I'm going to ask Denzel Washington what he's doing here.
"I can stop that train, my man, and on that train is what you need, but a blind man can't hope to do so."
Is there a train like nearby? I know I can hear it, but can I see it? I'm in a cavern.
You can't see it, but you can hear it coming.
Can I climb up the cavern?
No.
Okay. Is it coming into the cavern then?
It is not.
Okay. It's just I can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Trelawney, who should live? I shout up to the hissed voice.
There's no response.
Fuck you, bitch. I hope you're having fun.
I'm having a great time.
This is so long. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at this. Dylan, help me.
I'm thinking.
You guys have already made the connection to know what to do.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You say, "Oh, for fuck's sake," and in the distance you hear, "Oh, I'm gonna shoot."
I'm gonna take Denzel's Bible out of his bag.
Okay.
Oh, you don't touch that.
Are you gonna do anything with it?
I just wanted to see if he reacted.
He didn't see it.
I don't remember, but I think Ben didn't like this movie because he knew the twist ahead of time.
That is true, yeah.
Oh, the book of Eli.
I'm gonna take Denzel's sunglasses and put them on.
Okay. And put them on yourself?
Yep.
Okay. Rock says, "Wow, you look really cool."
I'm a peacock. I gotta fly.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them on the rock.
You put them on the rock and say, "Thanks." No, I look really cool.
Are there any weapons nearby?
I mean, Eli's got a knife.
I'm gonna stab the rock.
Okay.
She's making some choices.
You stab the rock, and he says, "Ah, fuck." And then in the distance you hear, "I'm gonna shoot."
He dies in the other guys. I couldn't think of anything. I'm gonna cut off both of their left hands.
Jesus Christ.
Just kidding. I'm not gonna do that because of your reaction.
You go to cut the rock's hand off, and the rock says, "Rock beats scissors," and scissors is just two knives.
But I only have one knife, so that's worse, I guess.
Yep. So you can't cut off the rock's hand, but you do successfully cut off Andrew's hand.
And what does he do?
He kind of shrugs, like he's resigned himself to this.
Oh my god!
Almost like the plot of Never Let Me Go.
Oh my god!
So then, can I remove some of his organs?
You can. Which organs would you like to start with?
Well, that's not an organ, so okay, let's.
His eyeballs for Denzel.
Okay.
So you remove Andrew Garfield's eyeballs and you give them to Eli. And at that, Eli says, "Let's go." And you and Eli, you run toward the sound of the train and arrive at a train station. The train's approaching quickly, and Eli says, "We need to get on that train." At that exclamation, a little boy at the train station says, "My dad can get you on that train. He's the greatest robot ever." At that, Shogun appears, and he picks up you two and Eli and runs alongside the train, matching the speed of the train so that you guys can all three hop on.
So Taika Waititi is carrying me, Dylan, and Eli.
Shogun.
Taika Waititi.
Shogun.
Okay, great.
So you get on the train, and you make your way to the engine room, and as you do so, you pass all sorts of characters. The first train has a group of Koreans dancing in the aisle.
That's Mother.
You step into the next train, and you see Zaddy Stanley Tucci cutting food in a V-neck.
Easy A.
In the next cabin, you see Robert the Tire.
Rubber.
You walk to the next cabin. There are 3 Korean guys playing poker, one in a suit, one in a cowboy hat, and one in a leather pilot hat and goggles.
Good, bad, and weird.
And in the last cabin, you see a small, bespectacled man as he stares at a blank white page, muttering in another language.
Bespectacled? What does that mean?
Bespectacled? He has glasses.
Do we recognize the language?
I believe it's French.
A prophet?
That was a French film.
The clue is a blank white page.
No. So it's not a prophet then.
Exam? Maybe?
That's it. You're right. Exam.
You finally arrive to the engine room and enter. You get to the control panel of the train, and the braking gear is locked. And inside the locked compartment, you see the key that you need. To unlock it and press the brake, there is a panel that looks like it requires a 5-letter password to open it. Eli says, "I've never seen anything like this before." Everybody laughs, knowing it to be true.
What are the 5 letters?
Merge.
You type the 5-letter password of merge into it, and the train stops, and you all get off the train.
Can I get the key?
Yep, you grab the key on your way out, which is part of the mechanism. Yep. Shogun comes back, picks you all up, and runs you back to the door. You go through, and you're back in the original room.
Thanks, Shogun.
I take the key and go put it in the keyhole.
You go turn the 3rd key, and it causes another click on the last door that you have yet to enter. And at the same time, a podium in the opposite corner of the keys rises from the floor. And in that podium are 2 guns and a note that says, "You'll need these to finish."
I take the better gun.
So Emily's got the good gun and Dylan's got the crappy gun?
Is there really that kind of a difference?
Yeah,
No.
there's one that looks like there's one that's like super old.
Oh my god.
Like it's like a single like pellet revolver from like the 1700s.
Thanks, Emily.
That's yours.
Can I just say one more time?
You're welcome.
Fuck. I'm gonna shoot.
No, we're not in that room anymore. Okay, so you each got a gun?
Yep, we're gonna open the fire door.
You open the fire door and walk in, and by this time the man on fire has completely turned into ash. You step into the room and it's eerily quiet, with the exception of a burbling noise emanating from behind another door opposite of the door you just walked through.
Burbling? What does burbling mean?
It's like
Like the sound of boiling water. Would that be a good approximation?
It's, yeah.
I will check the handle on that door. Is it hot, cold?
It's a little cold, but not anything where it would cause alarm.
Okay. I open the door.
You enter that room, and in the floor is a massive hot tub.
Oh, man.
And the hot tub has a panel next to it. And on the panel, it says, "When would you like to go?"
What year?
Another year.
You want to go to another year. Okay. What year?
What year did they go back in Hot Tub Time Machine?
I don't care. 1980 something. I thought you'd give it to me with just the title of Another Year. I don't know, Dylan.
I don't know either.
When would you like to go? We're entering the meta portion of the escape room.
Ah.
I want a clue.
When are we going?
2010.
You type in 2010 and it says, "Another year, please."
2011.
You enter in 2011 and jump into the hot tub, and the hot tub transports you to a grand French train station. There's a giant clock inside the train station, and you find yourselves completely alone there, except for a young Muslim man standing there.
Prophet.
The Muslim man says, "Neither can live while the other survives."
Oh, fuck him.
I'm gonna shoot the prophet.
Okay, you shoot the prophet and nothing happens. It's unaffected.
He's not dead?
Nope.
Cool. I'm gonna shoot myself.
You shoot yourself. Okay. So I wrote down 4 endgame scenarios here. So right now it's supposed to be just kind of narrative. So let's just say the Muslim man says neither can live while the other survives. At this, Emily and Dylan look at their guns and then look at each other. From here, 4 different scenarios can play out. In the first scenario, Emily shoots Dylan. Dylan wakes up and finds himself back in his chair, Escape from New York playing on his TV.
Fuck you. God
Emily is
damn it.
stuck in the train station. A top spins on the table near Dylan. Cut to black. In the second scenario, Dylan shoots Emily. Emily wakes up on her couch, having fallen asleep watching Futurama and not texting Ben back. Dylan is stuck in the train station. A top spins on Emily's table. Cut to black. In the third scenario, they choose to shoot each other at the same time. They both wake up on an airplane. Wesley is sitting in a seat next to them, smirking and nodding his head. Cut to black. And in the last scenario, they refuse to kill each other. They're both stuck in this French train station. The Muslim man says, "So you've chosen another round of this." The room fills up with hundreds of movie characters that Emily doesn't recognize. 2011 is upon us. Strap in, folks.